Howdy and aloha, everyone. Howdy and aloha. This is James with Monotop. It is the 26th of October, 2023, and these are my chronological documentations of current events globally, internationally, and domestically, within the United States. So one of the fellow employees I was working with, he was in the military when I was in. He was on the Enterprise, I think he said. Yeah, which is decommissioned or retired. CVN 7069. I was on the Carl Vincent CVN 70. Not too long. Had some things going on. I left a little earlier than I should, but I got in kind of late too. I'm telling you, from when I was about 19, about 20, for about 5 years, when I was like 21 to 25, I don't remember much of it. I remember Beverly Hills party one night and Santa Ana broken down hotel another night. The next night. It's crazy. But I've got the street smarts. I learned to trust certain people so far, and that's been broken several times, especially with our current administration in the United States under whoever this guy is, Biden or Bo or whoever. And it's to the point where you can't argue or debate at this point. If you're a Democrat or if you support Biden, that he's not purposely trying to destroy the United States completely, physically, financially, infrastructure, you name it. This guy's goal, and his goal is to take down the United States. Because as I've said for a while now, maybe a few years after I figured out what Fluvid was about, and the genocidal Kool-Aid that they had everybody take, or coerced or forced or mandated, Anyway, when World War III really happened, because everybody keeps talking about World War III with Ukraine, World War III with the Middle East, World War III with China, World War III, whatever. And I clearly stated in my last video, and I presented information and pictures. The military-industrial complex has been doing this and getting pretty much the beef. This is where the trillions of dollars go to mostly. Over the 33 trillion going to 34 trillion in debt to who knows what or who. I guess it's mostly China. Just ask Gavin Newsom, who just became the new bitch of China as he went out and met with them. The old one obviously is not doing very well. But anyway, let me just take a break real quick. Be back. Aloha. All right. I'm back. Just wanted to say thank you for being here. It's James with Monotalk. And I believe we were talking about what the hell were we talking? We were just the people. It's just these Democrats, and there's good reason for that. because they're all in, but the world, I mean, they are fucking all in, man. It's bad. And that's a big party to fuck with. People kind of don't understand that part of it. But these people are not going away. And they want to do whatever they can to appease their World Health Organization, UN, NATO, uh, uh, World Economic Forum masters. That, you know, they all, that money that siphons through that organization controls their behavior, controls their actions, controls them completely, and definitely a few ripe piglickins, I call them. They're not Republicans, they're rhino pigs. And they're greedy assholes that want to beat up Matt Gaetz. You know, just because that money that comes from the military, yeah, that's what it was. The military industrial complex, as I had put up a cartoon in my last show for that. And the cartoon was, it's an 80-year-old cartoon depicting that the military gets all the money and everybody else gets dick. Well, more recently, in the past, at least definitely in 2019, and one of my shows that I still have on Odyssey, that from my YouTube, or my first YouTube channel that I had, I don't know, 700 subscribers. Now I don't have very many because people are like, fuck, it's just a matter of time before they take Jimmy down for, you know, giving my perspective, my conclusions, my theories, having certain discussions. Yeah, because they know they know where I'm at. They know I'm spot on, and that scares them. They're taking down all the little guys that could have actually gotten to the masses and warned them to not take the Kool-Aid, right? The actual Kool-Aid in your arm stuff, prompted by a big fluvid 19, you know, scam. That was all baloney. I had totally, with my numbers, proved the death rates and all this other stuff was manufactured. And then sure enough, all that information came out 2.5, 3 years showing, yes, it was absolutely and completely manufactured something deaths. You know, I'm not going to say what those were, but you guys know what I'm talking. I got to be careful the way I speak, the way I tone, because I'd like to keep this little show on. I'm not able to put out the phone number. I repeat, I am not able to put out the phone number. You guys can join. The link is in the description or show notes of the YouTube. But I'm going through Restream.io instead of Zoom and my OBS system. But there's reasons for that, but it's just the way it is. I can't give you any more information. It's kind of, and it's been redundant in my opinion for a long time. But I've, you know, the end game or my theories that have basically came true, and it's really sad that the information that I provided and my conclusions or the direction of where these globalist pedo predator class crazy fuckers have gone, and what they're doing, excuse me, their actions, what they've orchestrated, what they pre-planned. You know, people bring up Agenda 21, which has been around for a while, but that's the evolution of it, right? The evolution of Agenda 21, it turned into the Great Reset, New World Order, Fourth Industrial Revolution. You know, all this is AKA the Fourth Reich. I don't care who you're from or where you're from, end game, depopulate or murder or kill or as many people as possible from what their numbers want. They want on their website, at least 2/3 of the planet, and hoard the rest for themselves. You can't, it's hard to control 8 billion people. It's easier to control a couple of billion. You guys gotta, if you're in the mindset of these globalist fucks, and we're not talking Bill Gates, we're not talking Jeff Bezos, we're not talking Elon Musk, we're not talking any of those people that aren't even close to the people that I'm talking about, that have had assets and influence and finance throughout the world for maybe a few hundred years, possibly even longer. And their bloodlines want to continue. Their eugenicist type system that they've been using. We're talking Planned Parenthood. We're talking, of course, where did all those go to first? And all the black and poor neighborhoods and minority neighborhoods, right? Wonder why. Right? I wonder what if Planned Parenthood wasn't around. Let me, not to go on. I will go on this quick tangent because I do. Imagine if you had a living wage and the minimum wage wasn't 27.25 like it because it hasn't been changed since 2009. And what if you were back in the 50s and the 60s and maybe the early 70s and things kind of started changing, and you were able on one income to take care of a family? Didn't matter what you were doing. You could be a waitress, you could be a carpenter or a plumber, which usually made better money. Or you could, be working at the grocery store or work under a corporation, but still the pay that you made was still good. Please. Hey, this is Jimmy.
Okay. We are done with live for the night, just letting you know.
Okay, so that guy was the last guy, right?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Sure, bye. Hello, are you there? Okay, so yeah, it's just very simple. It's very, very simple. There's really not much more I can tell you. I'm going to keep repeating. I'm going to still show the thing, but all in all, I got to take a break. You're just going to have to try to figure this shit out, man. Hey, it seems Lamar talking. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm going to stop. It's just I'm going to have just to repeat this, and I know me. He's going to say shit. I go, well, say something enough time, maybe people. That's my point. That's what I try. Is of course there's new information. Johnson's a new speaker. There's more money going here. What he was during the time of the death. First off, it seems that catering from his chef, and they might and took out another one, right? I am going to tell you now, there are people at this level that question of live television. Somebody was wasn't Leno, 5 women your being killed. She just without remorse, without side, is ready to, it's collateral, you know, it, they don't care. People don't fucking care. On that level, they start sick, and I'm going to say it, somewhat satanic, it seems, ritualistic type or cult. They're always saying that, I mean, things happen or high school. Even right, it's childish. It's unwarranted and so completely absent the legacy of contemplating vote is unconstitutional. One, create their own world, whatever the fuck it is. But for pulling a prank, chamber of the world for the prosecution job, and he should serve some serious time for fucking stopping from action. Right? They're so hell bent about democracy. Have people in the justice truth, community guidelines, the silence and violence. Alarm legally systems and processes of nations, capital law. Is that democracy? It's not all I'm saying. There's more to be. This is just one of a zillion examples. People since 2020. This thing that he takes. I don't know what's going on here, but the connection keeps dropping. Yeah, I don't. It's on Restream, Cheryl. I'm sorry. There's no phone number for Restream. I don't even know if there is. But if you're going to try to get on, you got to go through the link in the description. And I'm not really familiar how to do this on here, but if I'm at, because I'm not in my domicile, I'm just letting you know. So I'm sorry. Been getting a lot of work. That's all I have to say about that. I'm on my break. Let's just say that. I want things to be fair. I want transparency. What's wrong with that? I don't want backroom deals and people flying out to Hawaii or the Bahamas and these big conferences, quote unquote conferences, where all these legislators meet, to do their backroom deals. Fuck that. Anything that's decided and discussed regarding work needs to be on film. It needs to be on fucking film. Just a second. It's all nuts. Let me see. Hey, Jordan, how you doing? Thank you for being a very loyal Montauk. Thank you for being a very loyal, probably my most loyal, and I appreciate that, bro. Jordan, everybody, I just want to say, if anybody ever listened to this, super respect, super love, super ohana, Ina family, everything to Jordan Lott. This kid has been fantastic. They're all being fooled by Obama. We're all there. But now we've just, we've done our own research. I'm not just listening, just, oh, Rachel Maddow's right about everything. Oh, Anderson Cooper's right about everything. Oh, fucking Sean Hannity's right about everything. No. They're not the final word. Once I started getting into YouTube in 2014, content out there. I got into Rumble and Odyssey and started seeing all kinds of different content, information, people that were doing research, Whitney Webb, James Corbett, with the Corbett Report, Derek Bros, Ryan Christensen, Convo Couch was getting a lot of great information. Definitely. Jimmy Dore, of course. Jimmy Dore's jumped into a lot of this stuff. There's no doubt. More recently, we've got Beauty and the Boomer, Trailer Park Pundit, Nico House, and a lot of people out there that put together a lot of different platforms to, they're not being paid by Pfizer. They're not being paid by fucking Lockheed Martin. They might get a few super chats, or maybe somebody might send them a couple bucks here and there, which I think is great. Or maybe they want to, like Dr. Drew. That guy's got sponsors he's lost and some new ones he's gained just for fucking pointing out the obvious. And he talks a lot about the mRNA. He talks a lot about that, which which if you were like me when I was younger as a teen and growing up, Loveline with Dr. Drew, right? And Adam Carolla. We used to fucking listen to that and all the shit. They used to have just dumb fucking people on all the time, having just the stupidest conversations, but they were funny, about relationships. And, I was at the bar the other day and, with my girlfriend, I went to the bathroom and I came back and she was talking with her ex, right? And Corolla, I remember this one. Corolla goes, so did you go talk to some other at that point, or did you stick around? Right? It's just that simple, right? This stuff like that. But now they've gotten bigger. They're making, look at Joe Rogan. That's a great example of just basically what I do. You know, before my channel got fucked up so many times by the community guidelines, aka Ministry of Truth, I've had 15, 20, usually 8 to 10 people on my show, all talking about different views, different points of, you know, we'd let people in from the left, from the right, from the middle, way far right, way far left. We've had Tea Partiers, we've had Green Partiers, you know, people having conversations, and that's the way it should be, and that's what they don't want. The fucking global elite, aka Pedo Predator Class, because they're a bunch of fucking pedophiles, sick pedophiles, deranged. From my research, it's pretty crazy, but it's true. They've been practicing these Tom Cruise, what's that movie? No Way Back, I don't know, where Nicole Kidman and you were in or something. He was going to these cult seances or something. They were doing, you know, fornicating, all this other crap. But this is them. They're fucking weird. And, you know, and I've always said, I don't give a fuck what cult, what religion, what group, what party you're in. Bottom line is you made that fucking decision. Right? Bottom line is you made that decision. You made that decision. I don't care if you've been doing it for all your life and your dad did it or whatever. You know, you have an opportunity to not cause pain and chaos and destruction to other people and treat people with kindness, respect, and dignity. First thing, and I'm going to tell you right now, that doesn't happen too much in California. People have precognitions. They have their, you know, it's just really sad. You know, and immediately when you start talking about freedom or your First Amendment, oh, you're a Trumper. What? Wait, what? What? Well, I am now. And I have plenty of information to tell you why. And why a lot of fucking Democrats are turning into Trumpers. Because we all know that Russia has never been what the mainstream media has put them out to be, and still does. They still do it. Right? Trump has gone to all these courts, and they still nothing. These indictments, nothing. Because, and he attends those, and he goes, and he takes time away from his businesses and away from his family, you know, which he's resuing, but he'll get his, and I'm telling you right now, his vengeance will be swift, and it will be upon many Democrats. Taking a break. James Montauk, thank you for standing by. Yeah, these people are really effed up. For them to accept this agenda, right? This new event, you know, that was part of the Event 201, Agenda 21, you know, it's all coded. But for the Democrats to be all in with this needs to tell you, and this is for all the Democrats, they're still all Democrats, you need to get rid of them. You need to just, this is probably, they're look, the WEF, World Economic Forum, has shown their hand completely for the past few years. Ever since Fluid reared its scam hoaxing head, it's been pretty apparent, right, of what they're doing and how they're doing it. And it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad that people haven't understood. You're just not getting that information. That's the problem. So let's just, so you're constantly watching Rachel, Lawrence, Hayes, you're watching, 60 Minutes, just the usual mainstream media, which, go to, Jake Tran. He just did a great thing just the other day on why the media keeps saying the same thing, why it's broadcasted, that basically the same verbatim sentences or paragraphs or narratives that they're saying are almost identical. Sinclair, right? Sinclair is tied to the hip of the World Economic Forum. Sinclair Advertising. They are all in with the World Economic Forum. They're tied to the hip. That's one of Sinclair is like the right hand man of the World Economic Forum in regards to advertising, right? So, and there's a few others out there, not just Sinclair, but that's who's running all this. This money, this influence, this power, these connections. It's very hard. It's taken a while for them to build such a gigantic, Goliath. We're the Davids. This Goliath type entity, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Fidelity, JP Morgan, list goes on and on. The bank side of it, the financial side of it. And then also, the oligarchs, the monarchs, the heritages, the lineages that have been running the planet for a long time isn't conspiracies. They're not, I've given everything that you would say that you probably thought was a conspiracy, which is, I take pride in that word because now it's become basically a spoiler. A spoiler alert, meaning that all the stuff that I've been going over, and I tried to warn Jimmy Dore of this, but sadly he took his second booster. Fuck. Fucking Stephanie, she just wouldn't read it. I spent over $100, $5 share, $20 share, $20 share, $5 share, $10, trying to warn him to stop. He's wrong. He was getting the math wrong. He was getting the RNA wrong. He was getting the code. He was getting everything just fucking ass backwards. And I said, dude, just slow down, because he's very reactionary. A lot of channels are, and I even see this on YouTube. What did fucking the New York Times or LA Times or Associated Press or PBS or whatever outlets that are out there that are totally owned by these Pedo Predator Class motherfuckers. That's where they're getting their information. They were reacting on it instead of saying, "Wait, let's research this." Which I've always said. It's our duty and our job. It's just common sense to question authority and its sources at every turn. Remember that saying. It'll take you far in regards to politics. Who's saying what and what bills are they voting for, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But and I tried to help, but he took it, and fuck, it just sucks, man. And there's so many others, family members, people that won't admit they've been wrong, the egos that are out there. I'm still waiting for a phone call from some family members. You know what? We were wrong. We assisted in getting people to genocide themselves. And I apologize. Yeah, don't apologize to me. You should apologize to your fellow family members that you fucking push this shit on. Bottom line. Right? And that's what I want to hear. I want people to fucking to start owning up. I want people to start owning up to what they had done to other people. 80,000 military personnel in the 4, 5, 6 branch Space Force is a branch now. Weird. Lost their jobs. We're dishonorably discharged because they wouldn't succumb, because they weren't meek, malleable, and obedient, or they were in a position where they could go. A lot of people couldn't. A lot of people couldn't leave because that was their career. That was their main stay or their main source of income. So they had no choice. These people had no choice to do these things, and it's really sad. I'm going to take another break. Yeah, we're not, you're not, hey, Jim, we're not talking again. Or James, Jimbo, whatever you want to call me, as long as you call me. And some people don't have the guts. You know, some people don't have the courage to call me and apologize. Right? I mean, there's a guy that used to get on my case, Indy from the Independent Outsider. I forgot his name, his first name. But that sad man used to get on my case about fucking everything I was saying. And I said, dude, just hold on. He said, you should remove that stuff from Facebook. I'm reporting you and this and that. But wait a second. Didn't we just have these conversations that you couldn't trust? You know, Big Pharma, but now you do? This is what's amazing to me. Right? Do you think Pfizer, the CEO of Pfizer, and all these people that are making money through Pfizer give a shit about you? You know, I think that's a valid question. Do you think they give a fuck about you? Right? They don't. They don't give a shit. To you, you're just a customer, but it's different now. And this is the darker side. And it's sad that a lot of Democrats are still all in with this. It's just, no matter what, even though you're gas, even though you can't afford food, even though you can't afford to live, even though the tents all over the country are becoming more cumbersome and larger, and the population of homelessness is growing exponentially, and we have an actual invasion coming in of people from who knows fucking where, because we have so many quote unquote friends across the planet that we've created for the past few decades, with the coups and the states and the wars that we've created, and for our interest or for freedom bullshit, right? Yeah, now these people are coming in. You don't think there's somebody out there, just one person, that wouldn't sacrifice their life, blew up their entire community? Let me ask you that. You don't think one of these fucking people, and you got to look at some of these cities we've helped destroy. You got, look at the 70s of the bell-bottom jeans and tight pants and the gold all over the world that were moving around and shaking and dancing disco and having a good fucking time. Mid 70s, early 80s, just having a blast. Some of the 90s. Everybody was just fucking partying and having a good time and making money and doing shit and doing everything. And then all of a sudden, we were getting happy. They said, you know what? We're pulling the trigger. We're going to fucking take these fuckers down. Let's get rid of the ability to unite. 6 foot safe. 6 foot safe. Don't go to Thanksgiving. Don't go to Christmas. Don't come together. Don't listen to your Uncle Jim and his stupid conspiracies at Christmas. Don't fucking do it. Don't come together. We don't want you guys talking together. Because that is the most scariest word to the global predator class elitist bullshit motherfucking crazy sick fuckers. is unity. Unity. They want the division. They want the polarization. If they don't have that, then you'll start to figure out who the true enemy is. I mean, look on my Facebook, look on my Twitter. You know, if we keep fighting each other, we'll never realize who the true enemy is. I know who they are. I've been saying who they are. I've been trying to tell the fucking world who they are for 3+ years now. Right? It's all in the funnel or in the fucking circles within circles within circles. G. Edward has been trying to tell people for decades. James Corbett has been trying to tell people for a couple of decades. Ryan Christian has pointed out the facts of how this all has come together for a while. Derek Brose has done the same thing. Whitney Webb exposing pretty much everything. You know, look these people just fucking. Looks like my just reset my phone. I guess I'm cutting out bad. That's what Jordan's saying. Yeah, it's bad. I'm watching this thing and it's just really, I think I'm okay now. It just happens every once in a while. I don't, you look, you know, it was important. You know, it was good for me to go to West Virginia, right? Besides spending time with a really interesting person, which, you know, she was wonderful many times, just letting you know. But then things just went sour. Anyway, so that time being out there, and we're talking, you know, West Virginia couldn't be as red and as deep south as you can get. I mean, Alabama and all that stuff, because they're all kind of together. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, right? Arkansas, Kentucky, you know, Louisiana. They're good people. They're decent people. You know, I've shopping in a grocery store in Los Angeles or Orange County, which is they're borderline each other, you know, near Disneyland, Pedoland. People are rude. It's just you know, people out in the country out here, you know, Missouri, you know, Iowa, Texas, they're just, most of them that I've noticed or witnessed, even in the cities, they're just really proper people. They're just, you know, you know, they'll take that 2 or 3 seconds to go, you know, you go through. I get you here, wave you through. You know, I know you're in a hurry, just do your thing. I get you, you know. And then the grocery store thing is, oh, I'm sorry, I walked in front of you while you were looking across the aisle at something else. You know, the decency and the cordial, just God, they're just so nice and sweet, you know, and the stuff I kind of miss in West Virginia, which you still kind of hear it here a little bit in Missouri. Hey, sweetie pie. Hey, honey. Okay, darling. Stuff like this is just, you know, in California, that's sexual harassment, right? Sexual harassment. People that I've experienced so far in these red states are wonderful people. They're hardworking. They're very decent, God-fearing, nice, wonderful people. But if you fuck around, you'll find out with these people, right? They're so cordial and respectful. You know, they mind their own business. They do their own thing, right? It's impressive. What's up, bro? Yeah, so we are, somebody is trying to get through to these people. How do you get through to somebody that is so stubborn? And I've been there, man. I was there. I just apologized to a friend of mine, Mark. He's been a Republican for a long time. We had a conversation in Laguna Beach, back of his house, drinking beers, and I was all hell bent on a bomb. I was like, he's doing this and that. He goes, what are you talking about? What has he done? What are you talking about? He's trying to tell me, look, what are the wars he's got us into? You know. All my information was coming from Rachel Maddow, and my sister, who is like, I'm surprised she did never cut her hair like Rachel Maddow. But that's the problem. And I've gone over the power of the advertising. Like I said, check out Jake Tran and his information. It's impressive, right? Jake Tran he's really getting close to the end game, but he's not going to ever put that up. That's hard to say. Like I said, the end game for the Pedo Predator Class, aka Global, aka World Economic Forum, and their associates, these circles within rings, within rings, within rings, these monarchical lineage, sick, narcissistic, tyrannical, authoritarian type motherfuckers. Their end game is get rid of 2/3 of the planet and hoard the rest for themselves. This is the plan. For a lot of people, you're just like, there's no fuck. It's all money. It's all money, man. They just want more money. No, they have a fuck enough money. And after they get everybody on board for central bank digital currency, look it up, right? Which are still voting down, thankfully, the Republicans, but the Democrats just still want to bring it around. Okay, so that means no more $1, $2, $5, $20 bill, whatever, under your pillow for the tooth fairy. Right? No tipping that waitress, here's some cash for you, girl, or guy, girl, whatever it is. You can't put your money away in a mattress anymore, or vault like it's going to mean anything. Cash is, they don't want cash to be king, because then they don't have control over that power. And you know as well as I that cash is power. Right now it still is. Right? The cartels deal in cash. We've sent cash to countries we're going to coup or overthrow, or put in place some puppet for us in some country. It's when they use the CBDC in the way of digital identification, and it's going to be all digital, then who controls those transactions? Ultimately, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Who controls all that shit? All the digital currency? You? No, you can't control your cash anymore. If you wanted to right now, let's just say right now you have $1 million in the bank, and you wanted to pull that money out, the bank would be freaking out, for one, right? But you wanted to take care of it and protect it yourself. You wanted the tangible currency yourself, so that you yourself have that power. You don't leave it in the hands of other people. Well, that's what they're doing. They're going to take all the currency away and create their own system. And then their system, if you've been paying attention, and this isn't a joke, this is real, it's on their websites, it's everywhere, all in the name of climate change and fucking pandemics and all this other shit, right? COVID-19s, Kool-Aid solutions in your shoulders, all in the name of all that, they're going to control it all. If you're okay with this, if you in any way are okay, or if you believe in any way this is a good thing, if you even just hint or just say, well, maybe if you even go that far, then your indoctrination process has been complete. I'm glad I fucking missed school as much as I did, right? I'm glad I wasn't fully indoctrinated, because I wasn't, obviously. I was always questioning authority and the sources at every turn. And there were so many classes I remember that were out there for people. You're just like, well, so how's this going to make me money? Right? Here's a good example. My fucking relative, very close to me, my brother, just graduated. He's got 4 degrees and a fucking bachelor's or something from Berkeley, and he's not working. This is happening to a lot of people, right? Learn a trade. You know, I was a drywaller. I sold cars too. That was good money. I miss selling cars. You know, once the industry gets back in, I'm going to start selling cars. Hey, Jimmy Monotech, I don't think, well, a lot of people don't want to hear it. I start to bring it up with certain Democrats and certain people and relatives. They're like, I don't want to hear it. It's the fucking first thing they say. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to, don't tell me, you know, all things bright and beautiful. You know, it's just, you know, playing music on the Titanic as it's going down. They don't want to fucking hear it. You know, those guys were awesome. If that really happened, I don't think that really happened. You know, they're playing music. Well, the whole fucking place is going, we should just keep playing for the people. And I go, yeah, well, you know, we would understand if you tried to get into a lifeboat, bro. Just letting you know, we would understand. You know, but that's where some people are just like, some people have this illusion. The cognitive dissonance that is actually really happening. And you know, people used to point out that it's the Republicans have cognitive dissonance. It's always the Republicans that don't listen, and it's always the Trumpers that don't want to pay attention. They've invited people on their shows. How many times have you had a mainstream media news source bring on somebody that knows what's going on? Bring me on, right? And I'll just babble around and say, well, what brings you that solution? Well, if you look on their website, you can clearly see what their agenda is. Have you been to their website? Have you gone through their website? Have you been to the World Economic Forum's website? Have you been to the World Health Organization's website? Right? Have you? No. Do you know what their agenda is, what their process is? Have you studied up on Agenda 21? You know, which led to, you know, Event 201, which was the pre-rehearsal, and sure enough, the same fucking thing happened. My favorite is 74 million votes to Trump and 81 million votes in 2020, right? This is per their numbers, roughly, give or take a few thousand. 71 million for Trump and 81 million, or close to 81 million, for Biden, which comes out to about 155. Wait, 133. Right? But there was 155 people that voted, according to all the numbers from all the states. 155 million. Yeah, this is a fucking. I know you guys don't like it, but I mean, look at Judicial Watch isn't Judicial Watch, because they don't play by the book. They're a bunch of fucking lawyers that have bar credentials, the bar code of credentials, and they have to keep their information clear and concise and accurate, or they'll lose their licenses. They'll lose their bar credentials. Yeah, and so many others have reported a lot of information, but that didn't make it, that's what COVID-19 was for. They were able to push back the code counting days by a week or two, giving them more time to throw in more ballots from who knows where. I mean, all this stuff has been proven. Stop the Steal came out with a lot of stuff. I was going on somebody's, I wasn't going on, I was commenting on somebody's show the other day in Lifetime about, what the fuck is it? Amy Priscilla or whatever. She was part of Stop the Steal with Giuliani, but she was an associate. She was a helper, right? Or some other. She pleaded guilty like an idiot because they're being coerced. They're being threatened. This is the way it works. Robert F. Kennedy knows all about how nasty these people can be. Obama's chef didn't do a slip and fall as a great swimmer that he was. He was murdered. I don't know by who, but he was murdered. Like I said, maybe Big Mike didn't like the fact that Obama was, doing a little tugging on the side with his chef, another chef. There's been a couple of chefs that have had quote unquote accidents with the Obama. All this stuff's going to come out. These people are so hell bent on stopping Trump because he's so evil and so nasty, and I'm still trying to figure out what he's done. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how bad this guy is. I'm still trying to figure out what it is that makes him so evil and so nasty. He's followed the laws. He's done everything he's supposed to do. He's been through a gauntlet of accusations and claims that have turned out to be and bookings and all this other shit that has been proven to be completely false. When I brought up the fact, and it was a while ago, I brought up the fact that I didn't like the way that he handled, when he got sold by Fauci and his team, Barrett, Fauci, all these other, NIH, CDC scammers. They're all, you have to realize that 75% of their funding comes from the lobbyists that they fucking control, that they are supposed to, that the FDA, which is this is just remarkable, that most of their funding comes from the people that they're trying to regulate and 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 hold to certain laws and standards. It's just fucking, how stupid is that? If go on the FDA and I want you to sit down for about a month or two and scroll through every single one of their recalls in the past, I don't know, 30 years, you'll be sitting there for a long time. The FDA has fucking the FDA has recalled, I believe the number's at 63%, which isn't a good average. It's about 63 or 70% of the stuff that they've approved, they've had to recall. A year later, a couple of years later, a few years later, but at some point, even in a few months, they've had to recall shit. Isn't that alarming to you? Like the ketchup that we eat here or use ketchup in the United States has more chemicals and crap and junk in it than anywhere on the fucking planet. That has to be fucking alarming to you. Time out, I'll be back. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, hey, Jim Montauk, I'm just trying to figure out why George Takei and Rob Schneider, right, these pedo predators, these groomers, which do your research, you'll realize that's the situation. Hey, just keep continuing. And there's all these actors, right? George Clooney, he's bad, he's evil, right? Just fucking, for God's sakes, it's just crazy, right? But they can't say what exactly. Because every time now, they're losing that argument. Every single one is starting to dissipate. Every single one is starting to lose its fervor, its integrity, because every single accusation is falling off into the void of bullshit. Every single one, and it just keeps going and going, and it's like he's shedding the stuff, you know, like a snake. It's probably not the right analogy, but he's shedding this stuff off. It's just, you know, it's like he's just putting on he's just dumping an old coat, putting on a new coat that they keep trying to hang on. They keep trying to put this prison outfit on this guy, an American, right? Well, you have a guy like Ukraine, Zelensky, who's an obvious, just fucking 5 years ago, like 10 years ago, all of mainstream media was warning that fucking Zelensky and Ukraine were all a bunch of fucking Nazis. That's all they were talking about. That's all they were talking about. And then all of a sudden, they're good people now. You know, those leaders are good. People hate them. The majority of Ukraine would rather be under the support and rule or government of Russia. Everybody fucking knew that. Like just 8 years ago, 5 years ago. And most of us kind of knew it like just a few years ago. But they just create these wars. And now here comes Gaza and Palestine, and that's fucking Israel, Iran and Israel. It's always been the go-to. If you're as old as I am, and many people that are over the age of fucking 30, 35, 40 years old, you'll know that it always, every 2 or 3 years, they gotta have something to fucking throw money at. They gotta have something. Oh, nice. This plum does not taste like a plum. I'm telling you. Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but our government is not liked, not trusted, by more countries in the past few years than ever before. They are scared shitless that we're going to do something really stupid, especially with whoever's that guy is at the administration, Biden administration. Be right back. All right, back. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out. That was very fortunate for Robert F. Kennedy. When Hamas struck Gaza, man, he was the first one to fucking come out and go, let's kill those bookers. Right? Well, excuse me, the attack on Israel. He was the first motherfucker to jump in that. You know what I mean? I'm a little suspect with that. I've been a suspect on him and Israel. Anybody for that? Israel is a corporation. That's all it is. You could. I want people to start thinking. You know, when you think of rubbish, think of Akeem. No, when you think of Israel, you need to think Lockheed Martin, Enron. That's what you need to think. Okay, they're no different. There's so many countries. If you've ever seen, there's so many countries out there that we send money to in the billions. I'm trying to remember the name. It's called just extra funding. We send funding out to other countries all the time. And by the way, Maui, Maui still, being helped by locals, and the local islands are still helping them, right? It would take $6 billion, probably less, and the people would fly and help build and donate their time and their energy. I would, right? To build that fucking town the same way it was before. Every single fucking house. Every single freaking business. Every single freaking structure. And they want to turn it into a oil / here comes smart city. You think that's a joke? You think that's a conspiracy? No, they had been planning it. Look at my past videos. Look at a bunch of people out there. Common law, maritime law, international law, and other laws that you can look up. Maritime is probably the oldest because it's, like 300 BC, 800, 500, something like that. It's BC. You take over a capital of a nation, a country, it's like considered you take over that country when you destroy their capital. And according to the lawful Hawaiian government and history, factual history in general, Lahaina is the capital, not Honolulu, right? And Hawaii is not really a state, which if you look it up, because nobody really agreed to the annexation. But that's another topic for Hawaii Lore, a new channel I'm going to be bringing on here pretty soon. Because I have a case that I'm going to be fighting against Hawaiian homelands. So I'll let them know now that I'm coming. Because there's nobody out there that I know that's 50% Hawaiian or more. Maybe a few people that I know I still talk to in Hawaii. Maybe a few of my relatives, which is sadly all Democrats, right? Still thinks Biden's helping where Governor David Ig, completely and totally destroyed that state during Fluvid in 2020. Just annihilated it and its people. And he did his job, and he got a pat on the back from the fucking Pedo Predator Class. And now they got a new one, Josh Green, governor. Democrat, petitioning, fighting, having, summit meetings in a sense with other nations, other corporations and people in regard to the smart island or smart city goal they have for Lahaina. And right now, I believe, take some time, recoup, get some serious funding. And I think when Trump gets in office, he'll send a fucking truckload of money over there to let them rebuild it the way they want to. The people, not the government. Biden sends money to the government. You think the people get that money? Do you? Do you think they've seen anything? No. Yeah. See? He's sending it to Josh Green. And Josh Green is using it in any way possible to orders or the mission of the smart city. 9/11 happened. I was the first guy, probably out of million, at least 100,000, that were saying, build the towers back, build it all back, and then they turned it into a moon. Which I understand that part, but if you really want to honor them, then you may keep it strong and keep it going, right? But these fucking Democrats, they're all hell bent on taking this place down at the order of their masters. Who are their masters? The Pedo Predator Class, which you guys don't even know who they are. Some of these people, I could go on with the name and the fucking monarchies and all that other shit, the lineages that are out there that have been really controlling everything for a long fucking time. But what's important is the Democrats are all in on this. This is not a joke. This isn't a conspiracy. This is actually happening in real time right now. All that money that we supposedly send to Ukraine, how much do you think actually goes into Zelensky's pocket? You know? They don't know because they can't trace it. They don't know because they don't even know. They don't know because they don't even know. Right? They don't even know how much is going to who and where and what for. They have a slight idea. But a lot of that goes into that big circle jerk. Goes back to their campaigns. It goes into their Cayman Island account. Goes into their fucking Swiss bank accounts. It goes into their South African accounts. It goes into their fucking, any untraceable way possible this money gets moved around. And you'll see how it gets moved around. Hunter Biden was probably this party's biggest mistake. He's going to be the one that helped take down an entire party. Mark my words. And then there'll be the availability for a party, but people should be fighting for two. And there shouldn't even be a party. It should be independent, the Republic. Everyone being able to vote, not having to register as a Republican or a Democrat or a Green Party or whatever. Just being a born, working, legal, had to go through the process of being a legal citizen of the United States should be the process in order to vote. But that's going to change. They're going to try to change that, which they're doing because they're giving licenses to everybody. Right? California, Washington, all the blue states, Colorado, fucking Philadelphia, Connecticut, Some of those states out there are just fucking just gone. It's pretty sad. It's you should not have to be in a party to vote. If we were really a republic, a free citizens to make our own decisions, which is the way the Constitution intended, right? And George Washington, just look up the Bain against the party he process. He didn't think it was a good idea. He didn't like it. He warned against it. He warned against the demographics of it. I mean, do you honestly believe? And let's get to this party thing, just so you kind of understand what I'm at here. That if you're a citizen, born, raised, legally entered, went through the process, whatever, a citizen of the United States, you have the right to vote. Do you think you need to check mark that you're a Republican or a Democrat or independent or libertarian or Green Party or whatever, Constitution, whatever party? Do you really believe that's the right thing or that's the best thing? Of course not. You should just be able to vote and support people on their issues, what they support, what they don't support, what they're fighting for, their track record, their integrity, stuff like that. Based on, the culmination of how they've become or want to be, in a position of leadership for your community. There's a guy here in Missouri. Give me a second. His name is Leslie, and he's trying to get a mayor position in some little small town. There's about 1,200 people there, somewhere south of St. Louis, I think, in Missouri. And he's just a really good man, good person. And he's talked about with me the bribery and the money and just tons of just a lot of corruption that he's trying to get rid of. But these people are they got a lot of money behind them, and he's one man trying to save his town. This is what we need, more of those people. Be right back. Break time. Thank you for your patience. Jimmy Montag. Yeah, so I was just telling one of my friends here at work, he's a bow hunter. And yes, he eats everything. And he's good at bow. And he's also been a CrossFit. And yes, he's a Republican and he's a Trump fan. But he's a hardworking motherfucker. He's a trainer for his trucking company. He's been one of their trainers for 20-something years. He's been trucking for a long time. He's got property all over the place. He's built a good nest egg for himself, and he's doing well. He's not looking for handouts. And this is his point was, these people are just once you start taking the handouts, right? Once they start having the smart cities, you don't have to work or do anything. All you need to do is just fucking sit there and jack off and fucking paint or whatever the fuck you're going to do. Build, origami figures. I don't know what you're fucking going to do. They got you. Then you are theirs. That's my point. Okay. I'm just saying. And I was telling him, when I was a Republican, like Reagan and all this stuff, and then I voted for Obama twice. I voted for Bush twice. I voted for Reagan. I voted for Trump twice. But the times that I've been a Republican and done the Republican thing, these people, I'm telling you, they're not, it's not about me. It's about them taking care of them. And this is where people get Ayn Rand wrong. And people are now, oh, fuck, you talk about Ayn Rand. Well, I am, because she said, and I'll kind of paraphrase in a sense, and this is the thing that I tell my kids, if you can't take care of yourself, don't even think about taking care of somebody on your ship. And I always, I just had a conversation with my son the other day. He moved in with some people out there in San Diego, and they're doing their thing, and he came into some financial situations and probably said the goal of your life, right? And I'm not perfect at this, at all, is to be independent completely, right? And I've done that, and I've asked for help, and I've been here, and I've been there, and I've been, we all have. But the majority of the time is you want to be as independent as possible and be able to take yourself. If you can take care of yourself, you may be able to bring a partner along. That's what I say. That's what I tell them. I mean, right now, if my daughter, something happened to her, God fucking forbid, something happened to her wonderful husband, who's just the greatest kid. He's just a really good kid. She would be able to take care of herself. She would be able to and he as and he on his side, right? And that's the goal. That's a strong relationship. When you have not codependent, which I kind of just went through, you want people that are independent, right? And independent people that I've witnessed and seen and known are more so, not all, but more, the most, are Republicans. They're big about working hard. They are big about being integrity. They're big about being, being a good mom, a good dad, a good mom, a good dad. They're decent people. Like I said, you got to live out here to understand these people. They're just wonderful, hardworking farmers, construction, just whatever. Lots of trucks, lots of beards. I got a little goatee, but a lot of these guys got fucking like, I don't think I've seen a man over 30 with a beard that wasn't at least about 6 to 8 inches long or something. And that's just their thing. They may look hillbillyish, but I'll tell you right now, they're not. Well, core they are, but they're just nice, decent human beings. No matter what they dress like or look like or anything like that. And you wouldn't know. And I'm telling you right now, there are farmers out here that make more money than a lot of those fucking tycoons in fucking in San Francisco. What's that fucking Digital City? I can't remember. It's where all the fucking big tech is. Silicon Valley, right? Silicon Valley is, and they'll walk up and they'll be wearing their overalls, their jeans and boots, and you look at their boots, they're fucking tore up. They're putting in the work and doing it just to put fucking food on their tables and yours, right? The farmers that are out there, whether it's cattle, whether it's livestock, etc., or whether it's fruits or vegetables, are the people that are saving this country. And sadly, the Pedo Predator Class wants to take them down. Why? Because if you control the food, you control the people. If you control George Soros has been quoted to say this. You know, if you control the weather, you control the world. Yeah, I'm still getting and calling, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to call tomorrow and say, look, I'm still seeing this cloud seeding shit over Missouri. You guys got to fucking stop this shit, because you can see when it happens. You can see how this trail of smoke comes out, and instead of just dissipating like a usual contrail or vapor trail would have, it spreads, because these are microparticles connecting to molecules to create whatever, but that's very dangerous. It's very dangerous and very bad. We can't keep doing this. We're creating chaos. People like Bill Gates is promoting this shit like crazy, because his job, and I have to let you know this, because this is my assessment of where he's at, and I think everybody should know this is the mentality of the Pedo Predator Class, right? The Pedo Predator, and here it is. His job is to do the genocide part. You can argue with Lee. I have tons of proof to show that. Everything that he's touched, everything that he's invested in, everything that he's been a part of has caused mass genocide in one way. This guy is the fucking, and you know, there's a interview that happened. I put it up on my Facebook and Twitter recently. Just go to the DIY_liberty for, well, you'll find some of my stuff on X or Twitter. And you'll see the globe with stop the WF in it. And you'll see I posted a picture of Bill Gates when he was probably like 20, 25 or 26, maybe early 30s. He was being interviewed in regards to the situation he had with Bill, his ex-Microsoft partner, which he didn't create Microsoft, for fuck's sakes. He didn't, just everybody, and it didn't come from his garage, right? It was placed in that position. Just a second. All right. Yeah, so he's rocking back and forth in this video. Just look it up. Obviously, this man has some serious, absolutely right in your face, mental issues, like bipolar, something really bad. This guy's pretty fucked up. He's just like rocking back and forth. You know, like it's not like autism, but it's kind of like bipolar, whatever they created, whatever the case may be, fucking wacko. And everybody thinks this is the guy that everybody needs to listen to. This is amazing to me. And he's still out there genociding. And he just created good meats and simple foods. Lab grown meat, poultry. Right? And I want you to wrap your head around this. This is the same guy that believes in depopulation. He has said the word over and over and over again. Depopulation. Oh, what do we got here? Sorry, I didn't see that. Social stream. Hey, Mana. Show. Why did that? Oh, shit. I didn't know I can do that. Okay, I'm just learning this app, by the way, everybody. Farmers are gonna be. No, I can't read it. Hang on. Flip my phone. Farmers are gonna be. Oh, now I can read it. There we go. Oh, what the fuck is this thing doing? Yeah, I better keep it up because the connection is so terrible. Anyway, yeah, they're targeting the farmers. Farmers are shit. Hang on, I'm reading. Farmers are going to be rolling in cash for the coming years. Yeah, yeah, once we get rid of, I agree. Once we get rid of the Democrats, I agree. Once Trump in his office, he's going to make it no more of this fucking Bayer Monsanto shit. I mean, he's really, I've always said this. A lot of things that we eat and that we digest and take, medications, all this stuff, it alters your mentality. It alters your cognitive thinking. There's chemical imbalances in that happen all the time. And a lot of that, let's just say somebody had an opioid addiction, right? Or a meth addiction, or they had, what's that? What's that fucking new drug? Anyway, there's a lot of things that people are taking out there, which they have no idea what's even it's for like a heart medication or like a skin rash or whatever they're fucking taking. You have no idea what that's doing to your body. How that could be dampening or destroying your synapses, your cognitive thinking abilities, right? I mean, a lot of people, we have no idea that possibly the reason why you think that you need to wear a dress, right, could be because of the shit you're drinking, eating, and taking in your medications. Could be that. If you were clean, pure for 4, 5, 6 years, how would your thinking be? Speaking of that, I haven't drank for some reason. I just haven't felt like drinking yet. I'm probably gonna party when I get to Hawaii next year for sure, like a fucking rock star. I might have a few days of having a hangover, but I haven't drank in like 6 months. I haven't had a single fucking beer or cocktail or nothing. Just not important to me right now. I've been working my ass off, lots of overtime, a lot of people fucking not showing up. That's another thing. People are just, God, what happened to the working class? For fuck's sakes. But yeah, Bill Gates needs to be arrested. Anthony Fauci needs to be arrested. Hillary Clinton needs to be arrested. Uma, her assistant, needs to be arrested. There's a good reason for that. I'm going to go into detail. I'm going to tell you that time. I'm going to bring that up next year, but I can't not think about what this officer said and what they did to somebody, a helpless. I just can't. It's so genuine the way this guy was talking, this officer, this recording, that it's heinous isn't the word for this. Horrifying isn't the word for what happened. bestnewshere.com, I think it is. I think that's what it was. Best News Here. Yeah. Just look it up. I double dog dare you. I double fucking dog dare you. Why is this thing still doing this shit? Man. No. Okay. So Jordan, just to let you know, why did I hide that? What the fuck? Show. Okay, wait. All right. Chris Palumbo. Farmers are going to be rolling in the cash coming year. I hope so. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm doing this from my phone, so I'm not really good at this, by the way. So sorry about that. When I'm at home and I can do it, I can get this information out there. Because now I think we're good. Now I think we can. Hopefully that's going to work. Let me see the settings here so I can do that. Oh my god, this thing, I swear to God. Settings, chat overlay. Here we got the chat there. That's fine. Let's see, show, which one? Show. Okay. It's very sensitive when I touch this stuff. Okay. Yeah, I think when Trump gets in, these guys are going to get their retribution. I think that's going to happen. I think, yeah, because he's all about America first. You know, this Gavin Newsom was just hanging out with fucking, you know, the leader of the Chinese government, which I'm not against Chinese people, but the government itself wants total control. I mean, let's let me back up here. The Chinese government has how many military posts around the world? Less than 20. Russia has how many military posts around the world? Less than 20. We have over 800 military posts across the world. Military positions, military, you know, dug in, you know, good luck trying to take that shit over. So China is a big player in the world of commerce, right? NAFTA and George Clinton, not the performer, made that happen. The National something Foreign Trade Agreement. I forgot what that is. Type it in. Not that. I should know this at the top of my head. I'm just going to type it. North American Free Trade Agreement. Stupid. Big mistake. That opened the door for China. That's when Detroit City went down. That's when manufacturing in the United States went to shit, thanks to the Democrats. And they're going to do that everywhere. And they don't care. They don't fucking care. Yeah. So, you know, make America great again, I support. And whoever's leading that charge, I will support that person, whether it's Trump or whoever, right? The reason I am supporting Trump and the reason I am going to stand with this guy, and you can say all you want, because this guy has gone through a fucking gauntlet of accusations. He had an entire election stolen from him. He was tricked and fooled into this fucking this fluid crap. Right? He was totally fooled. I was fooled by him being fooled. But he deserves that spot. 71 million. Trump, 81 million. Biden, that's 133 million. How many people registered to vote and voted? Supposedly 155 million. That doesn't make any sense. And one of those numbers is wrong. I'm just telling you. Let me see here. Hang on. I'm going to take it right here. It's just going to turn off when I do this. Just a second. Hopefully it didn't turn off. I'm just going. Yeah, so here it is right here. All right. Here it is right here. It's so that's So 133 million registered United States voters, right? But if you add up 71 and 81, it comes out to 155 million. So 133 minus 155, that's 22 million votes that just came out of fucking nowhere for Joe Biden. Right? 155. Okay, let me see. Oh man, if I touch that, it is so fucking sensitive. Hang on, this is getting stupid. This app is just really not smart. I see that. I see that thing on main show. Whatever. I'm just scrolling through it, and it's hiding everything. I'm not even touching it. Barely touching it. This is so fun. Yeah, it's not Democrat. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's actually the Pedo Predator Class. They don't work. The Democrats don't work for themselves. They work for the people they get their handouts from, just as their voters do. They work for the Pedo Predator Class. That's who they work for. Yeah. That's basically what the deal is. It's just so nuts, and I'm saying, Bill Gates has definitely some problems. He's the guy that wants depopulation, and I always like this analogy of it. And I always talk to people and I say, "So you believe in depopulating the planet?" "Oh yeah, it's going to help the planet." I go, "Okay, so hold on. So we're on. Let's just say it's my family and your family on the planet, right? And there's no other families on the planet. Okay, all right. So do you want us to start to depopulate first, or not be able to bear children, or continue on our lineage? I mean, what if we have girls and they want to have the last name of the boys? So what happens to my last name? What if I want to have 4 kids? What if I want to, which people have done, they'll have like 2 or 3 girls and then finally they'll have a boy and they're stopped. It's like, fuck. I'm not really big on that anyway. I mean, if you want to continue on your family's name as the daughter or the son, I think that should be possible. Honestly, I think that should be fine. It's just up to how you want to put your name on your social security card, right? Which is a scam as well. But yeah, so that's the argument I make. So you believe in Bill Gates and depopulation? Yeah. So who goes first? You? You go first? You're going to pull the plug on your family first? Because, I mean, you want to do it. You're all about it, right? So right now you're going to, sterilize yourself or have a vasectomy or whatever. What the fuck do the women have? They have astronomy or whatever. Taking out your eggs, whatever. Is that what you want to do? Yeah. Now I get that some people may not want to have children, right? Or incapable of having children. Or the person they had a child with, they believe wasn't going to be able to create a family like they wanted. They don't want to do that. That happens. But you have to pull the plug on when, right? And I've been a strong believer because I think according to the Republicans, all they're asking for is like 15 weeks. Right? I mean, how much more time do you need to know if you want to have a child? I mean, let's just say, and I know this is a tough one for women because You know, and there's birth control pills and there's, you know, condoms and all that shit. But let's just say something happened, the condom breaks and birth control pills. It's not 1,000% that works. And all of a sudden, why is this hiding everything? Fuck. Swear to God. Hide messages from stream. No. Epstein's clients run the world. Perfect. Yes. But you nailed it. You nailed it. You nailed it. That's why they won't show that list. Yeah, I want to hear Donald Trump say, I'm going to reveal the list. Oh my God. Oh my God. Would that fucking be epic? I'm going to reveal the list. I know that Byron Donald's going to reveal the J6 tapes. I hope so, but he isn't speaker now. I don't know what fucking that new Johnson guy is going to do. Yeah, so I'm just wondering, you know, as far as depopulation, you know, who do we keep and who do we lose? Bill Gates, Mr. He bought a $43 million villa in Del Mar, California. Look it up, Google it. At sea level, Mr. Climate Change motherfucker. Is that not like a slap in the face? He just did that in 2021, 22. Bought a fucking giant villa, ranch style place, just one story. Just huge spread. It's like a half acre, about the size of it. Maybe quarter acre, the entire size of it. Third of an acre or something. Like the water hits his back fence, which is a bench that he can jump over and go into the water, like 20 yards away. Mr. Climate Change himself. Mr. The waters are rising. Oh, you guys have got to watch this. You got to watch it. I haven't figured out how to play videos yet here on Restream. But there's this Greta Thunberg, this crisis actor, piece of shit, who has so many people fooled. She fucking does this interview the other day on some mainstream media station. Who is basically saying the most insane things I've ever heard. You have to look it up. I'm going to play it on Monday. You probably already seen it. It's just fucking, it's every other word that comes out of her mouth makes no sense, is not relatable, and has changed the definition of what that shit is. It's complete jumble. It's like she went to the school of linguistics of Kamala Harris. Fucking nuts. You have to watch it. People that want you to fucking depopulate and stop driving your gas car, which is bullshit. Yeah, all that stuff is just a big fucking lie. You know, and I fell for it too. That's what's got me, is Jesse Ventura was so into that. We wanted to run on other issues like Medicare for all, or, you know, just more expensive healthcare, a living wage. And he was all about. Thank you for standing by, if you're standing by. But anyway, it's James with Monotop. Yeah, I'm just dumbfounded with the Democrats, the people that are still saying that, you know, and sadly we got to go through this party process still. Right? Yeah, JFK is not, or RFK, Robert F. Kennedy is. Hopefully, Trump will use him. I think he should use him for the Department of Health and Human Services or whatever, where Fauci was, so he can regulate that shit. Because he's not an anti-vaxxer, he's an lying to everybody vaxxer. Right? So I'm just totally. There's Charles. There's Susan. Okay. Yeah. It's just funny. He could have been on the debate stage if he would have went Republican. I just thought that was a big waste of fucking time. Just total wasted everybody's time. Yeah. I wonder what Matt says Kevin was a snake.
So as Emmer is withdrawn, Mark Molinari, a moderate New York freshman Republican, stands up at the microphone and says, well, if we forum, everybody home for a good cry, let's just take a non-binding where people would be on the person who came in second to Tom Emmer, and that was Mike. At least Stefanik said, well, that's against the rules. We can't do that. Brilliantly. Mark Molinari move for whether or not Mike Johnson could be. And guess who objects to that unanimous consent request? Kevin McCarthy. Who was that? Kevin McCarthy stands up and interrupts and says, I object to doing a roll call on Mike Johnson. And Mike Johnson was exasperated all the time. Johnson had voted for McCarthy, had carried his water, maybe even voted for some bills he didn't like because he was working toward the Republican conference's stated objectives under McCarthy. And here was the thing. It showed everyone that it was actually McCarthy who was working to knife Scalise. It was actually McCarthy who was working to knife Jim Jordan. It was McCarthy working to knife everyone. And he hadn't yet figured out a way to knife Mike Johnson. And so he was worried that there was going to be this great unifying moment, and he scuttled the unifying moment. So because of McCarthy's objection, we had to have this 3-hour delay. And, candidates announce again, have another forum. And guess what happens during that delay, Steve? Patrick McHenry runs to the House floor, opens it up out of recess, and then adjourns till noon today. Now, why did he do that? Because they were setting up a play to block Mike Johnson with write-in votes in the intra-conference process for Kevin McCarthy. They were promising people hearings on their favorite legislation, passage of bills. I heard people promise, or maybe you'll get a chairmanship. And the play was for McCarthy to return as speaker, and then Jim Jordan to be the deputy speaker in some sort of like Dwight Schrute assistant to the regional manager posture. And that would have been debasing to Jordan, someone I like a great deal, and it would have been empowering to McCarthy. So Garrett Graves and all these people are working to try to effectuate this return of McCarthy, and they're telling us they're going to be 100 votes for McCarthy on the write-in. You know how many there were? 33 on the first write-in. So they flame out terribly. Mike Johnson's gaining momentum. Ultimately, McCarthy gets 43 to vote for him on a secret ballot, but Mike Johnson gets a majority, and then he says, you know what I want? I want a roll call vote, so that those 43 would have to announce themselves as being for a candidate who wasn't even running instead of a unifying force like Mike Johnson. And when we called for the roll call, do you know how many people voted for Kevin McCarthy? 0.
That's fucking awesome. I don't know if you guys heard that, but that's fucking awesome. Because Kevin McCarthy, which a lot of people don't realize, is he's a young globalist with the World Economic Forum. Yeah, this kid Matt Gaetz is fucking just spot on, man. This guy is strong, and he is going to be a force to be reckoned with. But on behalf of the people, he's clearly stated, I would rather take money from my constituents at $20, $30, $40, $10, $20, $30, $40 a pop than hang out with the fucking lobbyists and the special interests. Right? If I see him raise anything about Citizens United, then I'll know he's really serious about this. Because bro, Matt, you need to get rid of Citizens United. Let's just put that. Let's just throw that card on the table because that's number one. And I've been talking about that. Fuck. Oh God, I've been talking about Citizens United ever since it came out. Ever since they did it back in 2010 during Obama. Right? And nobody ever fucking raised a fuss. People talked about it every once in a while, but it just kind of got shoved under the rug into the past. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, Matt Gaetz is very strong, and he wants term limits. He wants single line voting. How fucking awesome would that be? You know, not with a bunch of pork and fat and bullshit stuck into it, so everybody gets funded. Everybody gets their money. That's all. That's the way it is right now. You know, it just be up and down vote. Do you support this particular line in this bill? No. Next. This one. No. This one. No. This one. Yes. And then you're held accountable to it. Not like you throw in all the no's and the yeses all together and they're all yeses. You know, and then that just keeps the super PACs happy. Right? People forget that the super PACs are super because they're ran by like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Enron, Lockheed Martin, you know, Pfizer, you know, Moderna, AstraZeneca, you know, all these, you know, these giant companies that you know, these lobbying bodies, you know. Now, special interest, people can also understand that special interests aren't just about big money. They could be a group, you know, for Medicare for all, or it could be a group for abortions or non-abortions. You know, these are special interests. But what people don't realize, and this is the thing that I've been talking about for a long time, is back in the old days, you used to be able to walk into Congress and say, hey, I don't like where you guys are putting that fire hydrant. And they would take you seriously. One man, one woman, one person, or well, one man, you know, by the way, it's the Democrats that voted against, which people don't realize this. This is important. And yeah, I love that one, Chris Palumbo. Epstein's clients around the world. That's true. That's fucking that's pretty much it. You know, if you want to know what's going on, but I got to look at this one picture. It was really good. I got it from Cheryl, who is an African American, Black American in the United States of America, born, raised, her family, long lineage. And I hope that all the blacks vote for Trump, by the way, because they would be smart too. Because the Democrats have been promising all this shit and never giving anything. They send all the money to other countries and other companies, and they send nothing to them. So there it is. But there's this one fact that I wanted to bring up. And I think it's always important that I say this because you can look it up. You can look this up and you can, you know, make the determination for yourself. But I'm just going to throw the fact out there that the Dixiecrats, which I didn't know about, you know, the Democrats rebranded themselves.